Year and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm coming to you with a little recipe that I've been making on repeat for my baby toddler. Florence is actually about 14 months at the moment, so I think she's technically a toddler, but honestly, like, she's still a baby to me. But today I wanted to share with you guys a recipe for custard, which I've been making for Florence since she was quite little, obviously when she was over 6 months. So if you've got a little bubba or a toddler, custard is actually a really nice, super nutritionally packed snack that you can make for them. And the ingredients are really simple. Essentially all you need as a minimum is 2 ingredients. It's eggs and milk. And the really great thing about custard is that, as I said, it's super nutritionally dense from those egg yolks. You know, the eggs are a great source of nutrition. They've got everything in them that's needed to grow a little baby chick. So it's kind of like nature's multivitamin in its own way. Egg yolks are also one of the richest sources of choline, which is really great for supporting healthy brain development. So assuming you don't have any allergies, there's lots of good reasons to incorporate egg yolk into your baby's diet. And custard, I think, is one of the easiest ways that you can kind of get it in there, especially if they're not loving the taste of like egg yolk on its own. You can kind of slip it in there in a yummy little custard. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the recipe. So this recipe is super simple. All you're going to need is 3 egg yolks. Ideally, we want to choose high quality pastured eggs. You're going to need 1 cup of full cream milk. I'm using non-homogenized organic milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. And then equipment wise, we're going to need a wooden spoon or spatula, a whisk, sieve, bowl, measuring cup, and your pot. Okay, let's get started with the recipe. So first up, we're going to separate out our eggs to get 3 egg yolks. So just taking out the whites and putting our egg yolks into a bowl. Then we're going to give them a really quick whisk and set that aside for now. Then we're going to measure out 1 cup of our milk. Again, I'm using a non-homogenized organic milk today. Full cream is also important. We want to have the creaminess in the custard. Then we're going to heat up the milk on a medium heat and add in the maple syrup and the vanilla extract. We want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on the milk, so we don't want it to get too hot. We don't want to overheat it, or it's going to cook the egg yolks when we pop them in and it's going to ruin the custard. So keeping a really close eye on the temperature of the milk. It's going to be done when it starts to steam and you see those small bubbles forming around the edges. But again, we don't want it to be boiling. So once you notice it's coming up to temperature, we're going to turn off the heat and pour a little bit of the milk into the egg yolks. Then, once we've given that a quick whisk, we're going to pour the eggs into the pot with the milk. Then you want to quickly put the pan back onto a medium to low heat and start stirring immediately with your wooden spoon. So it's really important that we're stirring constantly with the wooden spoon to make sure that that egg does not overheat and start to cook and curdle the custard. So going in figure 8s is really good with your wooden spoon, just making sure that you're getting the sides and the bottom of the pot so that nothing is sitting still for too long. Keep moving constantly until the custard starts to thicken, which will happen pretty suddenly once it hits a certain temperature. So you'll know it's ready when you run your finger over the back of the wooden spoon and the custard doesn't run. So once it's started to thicken, we want to take it off the heat and keep stirring it for a few minutes. Then we're going to pass it through our sieve and into a jar to keep in the fridge. And we're pretty much all done. Super simple. Alright, and that is our custard all done. So you will notice that it is still a pouring custard, so it's going to be more runny than a super thick set custard. There is the option of thickening it with like some flour, but for the babies, in general, I'm opting to keep it as simple as possible. I like to feed this to Florence either like obviously with a spoon and a little bowl, or alternatively I'll pop a little bit into this silicone pouch. I think they're by Hukka. But Florence really loves custard, so it's usually not too hard to get her to eat this. I'm just gonna pop that into the fridge, and I like to make a smaller batch, but you can definitely upscale it, just doubling all of the ingredients. But I find doing it in smaller quantities more often is just kind of easier. But yeah, that just about wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you want to see any more baby related recipes and food ideas, just let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, I hope you're all having a great start to your new year. Bye!